Hey guys, it's your girl Keri, and today I'm going to share with you an awesome thrift haul. You guys know that I'm an avid thrifter, and based on my analytics, you guys love to watch my thrift haul videos. So I've collected a few pieces over the past several months, and I typically try to wait until I get a few items corralled together before I make a video so that I could have something to really share. So the first couple of items I'm going to share is something I typically do not pick up from thrift stores, and those are clothing items. Now, I'm not a big fan of picking up clothes from the thrift store because the way my body's set up, I have to try my clothes on. I'm not the type that can just walk in and shuffle through the racks and say, oh, that'll fit. I really have to try each and every piece on before I buy it, and I am a little skeptical. I'm quite the germaphobe, and I do not want to try on used pieces in a thrift store for fear of there might be mites or scabies or bed bugs or something like that contained in the clothes. Because to be quite honest, I've seen those bins in the back of the Goodwill when people drop off their stuff and donate them, and the bottoms of those bins look rather gross. And so for me, clothing is a no bueno. Now, when my children were younger, like toddlers, I would buy their clothes from the thrift store because they didn't need to try them on. And my process when purchasing clothing from the thrift store, I would put it directly in a bag, tie the bag up in a knot, put it in my car, and as soon as I got home, I threw everything in the wash and put it on the highest setting that I could. Then I dried everything on the highest setting. And that way, anything that could have potentially been in the clothing items would have been destroyed. And then I just get rid of the bag. I just throw the bag in the outside trash just to make sure that there wasn't anything in the bag. And I know a few of you are still waiting for the tips and tricks on the pest control that I mentioned in my video on how to prepare for out-of-town guests, and I'm actually going to do an entire video on pest control, and then I'll link all of the items that I use in the description box of that video as well. So the clothing items that I picked up, I was walking to the back of the store to head to the dishwares and home goods section, and this awesome skirt caught my eye. It's a maxi skirt, and I love the color blush. I love the fact that it was a beautiful feminine lace. And when I held it up, I love the fact that it was long enough. I have a problem finding skirts that will actually skim the floor. I am 5'8" and some change, so I'm rather on the tall side. So trying to find those maxi skirts that fall all the way down to the floor is, rather hard for me. So when I saw this skirt, I immediately knew that I wanted it, and I took a look at it, and it was brand new. The tags were still on it. It originally retailed for $129, and they were selling it for $5.99. So I was willing to take the risk of paying $5.99. Now, this was a dry clean only item. I didn't want to send it to the cleaners because even if you send something to the dry cleaners, if there's something in it like a bed bug or something like that, the dry cleaners does not kill bed bugs. Now, there is one solution that dry cleaners use. The solution itself will kill the bed bug, but they are cutting back just because of environmental reasons on that particular solution. So I didn't want to do that. So what I did was I brought the, I tied everything up in a bag, brought it home. When I got it home, since it was a delicate piece, I put it in a mesh laundry bag, and I boiled a pot of water, and then I took the mesh garment bag, put it in my sink, and poured the boiling water over the garment and let it sit for about 10 minutes. Now, anything that was in that skirt, whether it be a bed bug, a mite, or anything like that, was completely destroyed with the boiling hot water. I was just hoping I did not ruin the skirt, but I was willing to take that chance because I loved it, and I was willing to lose $5.99. And let's say that everything worked out perfectly and the skirt is still intact. So after I boiled it, I put it in the wash in the mesh bag, and then washed it with a very delicate cleanser like Woolite. And now I have a beautiful skirt. I'm leaving it to hang dry because I don't want to put that in the dryer. The next clothing item piece I picked up was just a basic denim shirt. And I've already washed this, put it in the hottest setting, and put it in the dryer on the hottest setting as well. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to deconstruct this entire shirt. I needed a sample shirt. I didn't want to cut up my my jean shirt that I already have in my closet, because I'm going to try something out. I will share that experiment with you guys if it comes out right. And let me know in the comments below, do you want me to share what I was planning on doing with this shirt, even if it doesn't come out right? Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see videos when my ideas are actually a fail as opposed to a success. But I did get this jean shirt. Another item that I picked up that I was absolutely thrilled with, and I know you guys are probably like, whatever, but for me, this is what I live for. This is my passion. This is what I love. And it was a vintage book. See this? It says, How to Entertain at Home. Oh my gosh, I was super duper happy. And actually the vendor that held this, and actually the vendor's booth at this particular thrift store, she has a ton of vintage books, and all of her books, she has them marked as not for sale. She just has them on display to kind of show maybe some bookends she might be selling or something like that. And I asked, I said, hey, you know, I really want to buy this book, you know, could you sell it to me? They said, the vendor, he is not here. We're working her booth today, but I can tell you she has never sold a book. She does not sell her books. She said it takes a long time for her to find them and source them, so they're not for sale. I said, could you please call her? Just tell her it's someone here that absolutely loves everything about entertaining and old school vintage entertaining, how they did it back in the day. So they called her, and lo and behold, she said, I will sell her the book. I'm thinking, you know what? This lady knows that I really, really wanted this book, and it would have a nice home. So it's a How to Entertain at Home book. And this is from the 1920s. So I'm going to turn the camera around and share with you the other items that are included in my thrift haul. I picked up this beautiful silver plated tray, and I just love the scalloped detail, love the handles on either side. This tray here is very versatile. It can be mixed in with your modern pieces because it's just such a classic. You can use this to showcase your spirits and wines and things like that while entertaining. You can also use it to display food while entertaining, and when you're not entertaining, this will be a great piece to just set out on a table and just, you know, make a little vignette. I just love collecting beautiful silver trays, and this one rang in at $10.99 from the Goodwill. Another thing I picked up were these finials. I love these. They kind of like a leaf or kind of like an artichoke type look. And this is a smaller one. And this one was $3.99 from the Goodwill. And this is great to like fill in those bookcases and things like that, to use just little decorative pieces to fill in your built-ins. And so that's the baby one. And then I also found a much larger one. This one's huge, and this one was $8.99. Now this could be a centerpiece on a table. You could put this on a coffee table. You would just try to find the right scale or place to put a piece this large. So if you have a larger scale furniture, larger scale bookcases, things like that, center of a table, that's where you would put the larger piece. I saw this beautiful architectural piece in Goodwill, and this is not really any kind of stone. This is actually resin, but it just looks really old, and you know, like it's telling a story, like some old stone. And this was $2.99, and you can use this as is, or you can add it to either some weathered wood. If you need to make it bigger, you could add it to a frame and make it more substantial. There are so many different things that you can do with this piece, and I will share with you how I'm going to incorporate this in my home decor. I'm always on the hunt for, you know, nice, classic, sturdy pieces of silver or silver plate, and they were $1.99 a piece. And here's a quick tip. As soon as you get items home from like the Goodwill or thrift store, especially if it's a silver piece or silver plated piece, remove the sticker as soon as possible, because if you leave the sticker on there, you run the risk of the rest of the piece tarnishing, and then when you take the sticker off, it's going to be the shape of a rectangle, the shape of the sticker, and it's very hard to kind of clean that and get it restored to new. I just wish you know, the Goodwill would just put the stickers on the bottom so you won't ruin the pieces that you ruin the piece that's actually going to be shown. But again, I think that will probably be asking too much of the Goodwill. Next up, I found these two seashells that are on pedestal stands, and these were $3.99 a piece. I shared them with you in my last video because I wanted to include them in my transitional decor. And these stands were too tall to fit in my lanterns, so I'm going to just use them as decor, spring decor, when I do my spring refresh in the family room. And I would probably stack one on like some books or something like that, just to give it a varying height. Next, I picked up this brand new set of Falstaff. I think it's by the brand Falstaff Mercury glass tea lights, and there's 12 of them in there. And this is great for when you're setting your tablescapes. You can just put that little light, gives it that nice little glow. And they're like the goldish and silver combined mercury glass, so it can go with either gold or silver, and that's what I like about these. And I got these were actually from, they didn't even take the time to take the tag off, from Ross, and they were, I want to say $3. The thrift store was selling them for $3. And holy smokes, I was so excited when I found these. You're probably like, Keri, this looks like old, worn, or ripped up paper. And so it's by this brand called Veri, and this paper feels like leather. Like, you know, it's not regular paper. It feels like, you know, they transferred stuff on leather. They transferred the print on leather and it kind of made it look really, really old and ancient. But look, it is vintage dishes. Yes, vintage flatware. So take a look at this. It is so gorgeous. This paper, I really want to know what the paper is made out of, because it's thin, but it's very strong. Like I said, it has a leather-like feel to it, and it has a little bird with standing on a chandelier, and there's a vintage spoon that's kind of cut in half. So you have the handle here and the spoon bowl there. And I just think that's so beautiful. Now, I don't know if I'm going to like frame this and make it look like it's just, you know, suspended inside of a frame, or if I'm going to plaster it and put it on a canvas and have the canvas aged as well. And I have 4 of these prints. 2 of them are like this, and then the other 2 are just handles of vintage spoons. And look, they have like these, you know, wording in cursive on there. I just absolutely love these pieces. I'm really thinking that they should be framed, like suspended in a frame, so that you can see, you know, all of the, you know, distressed and cut out edges, the burnt edges. I think it would look really, really nice. So guys, I also want to do a quick fix type segment, and that's basically when I, you know, just have a small little project. It's not a huge project. It's not something that would warrant an entire video by itself, but just to share with you how you can spruce up something, you know, rather small in your home to make it look a little bit better for just a few bucks. So in this quick fix segment, I've only spent $5 to spruce up my coffee table. And what I did was I purchased some beautiful queen bee vintage knobs from Hobby Lobby. Now, they were originally $5 each, but you know, Hobby Lobby's merchandise always go on a rotational sale of 50% off, and this particular week the knobs were 50% off. I'm going to turn the camera around and share that upgrade with you. So this is the original knob that we had on the coffee table drawer, and I wanted to switch that out and beef it up and give it kind of like a new look. I've had this coffee table for, I don't know, like 12 years, and I found this B door pull. Now I'm going to show you a little hack on how you can actually dress this up and make it look a little more elegant. So I'm going to show you what it looks like with just the B. So that's what it looks like with just the B knob on it. But as you can see where all the markings are, where the previous door pull was, and that wasn't going to work. So I needed to fix that. And I went back to Hobby Lobby and found this plate. So I figured if I put the plate behind it, it would cover that up, and it would also make it look a lot more substantial. So now it looks absolutely gorgeous. You can't see any of the previous drill holes, and I love this look. Now I had to buy 2 sets because on the opposite side of the coffee table there is another drawer pull. Now I did the same concept to our beloved chest set. We've had this thing for years. I absolutely love the, way it looks. It's just like a piece of furniture, but it is a game. And so one of the knobs broke, and I hadn't been able to find a replacement, an exact replica. So they originally looked like this, and I think someone dropped it. I don't know who dropped the chest set, but the knobs broke. And I searched high and low to find a knob that had kind of like the amber, like gemstones set inside, but I couldn't. So I went on ahead and settled for this one. And I think that ties in nicely with the rest of the set. And I did the same thing. I bought a plate for the back of it and a knob for the front. So I wanted to see how it was going to turn out before I went and purchased all 4 of them. So I need to go back to Hobby Lobby and pick up 3 more. Or I might just pick up 1 and leave this side like this and keep the original knobs on the other side. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you would like me to continue these kind of quick fix decorator segments included in my videos. Like I said, they're too small to make an entire video alone, but I think these are kind of great because not everyone has an entire room reveal to always show. You have to actually save up or save money to do an entire room over or to do a complete refresh. But I do think the little $5 here, $5 there to kind of spruce things up is very helpful, and it keeps you motivated when you're trying to save for those big ticket items that you want to accomplish, those home projects that you want to accomplish throughout the year. So let me know if you like those little quick fix segments, and until next time, I'm going to keep calm and carry on. Bye guys.